Okay, so what if I told you that two of the greatest stories in German literature were secretly the same? Today, we're going to dive into the hidden blueprint that connects Richard Wagner's epic Ring Cycle with Goethe's masterpiece, Faust. You'll see how both of these massive tales are built on a really fascinating and deeply human parallel.
All right, let's meet our key players. On one side, you've got the God King Watan and his incredibly cunning advisor, Loge. And on the other, the brilliant scholar Faust and his demonic tempter, Mephistopheles. Now, a god and a scholar, they seem like they're worlds apart, right? But their relationships hold this remarkable secret. Both of them feature a powerful hero who is tied to a shadowy, clever figure, one who helps them get what they want. So this isn't just some random idea. Critics have been seeing this profound connection for a long, long time. The dynamic between Wotan and Lage, it's like a direct literary mirror of Faust and Mephistopheles. So let's break down exactly how this powerful literary architecture actually works. And this, right here, is the crucial point. The foundation for both stories is a main character who is just wrestling with this massive ambition that pushes them right to the edge of their own morality. Trust me, this is no coincidence. It's a recurring and really important theme in storytelling that asks, what is the true cost of greatness?
So let's really dig into what makes these heroes tick. What is it that drives these powerful figures to make such dangerous bargains in the first place? Well, it all comes down to an insatiable, all-consuming desire. But a desire for what exactly? And here's where it all crystallizes. For Wooten, it's nothing less than the pursuit of supreme power. He wants to order the world exactly as he sees fit. Faust, on the other hand, is thirsty for ultimate knowledge, to understand the universe's deepest, darkest secrets. Power versus knowledge. See, even though the goals are different, they come from the exact same impulse. This deep hunger to go beyond normal human or even divine limitations.
And, ambition on that scale, it always has consequences. It forces both of them into these morally gray areas. To get what they want, they have to compromise their methods, which of course creates the perfect opening for a bargain with a darker, more pragmatic force. They need help, and that help is going to come with a price.
And this is where that second key figure steps onto the stage, the clever, cynical advisor. These are the characters who make the hero's impossible dreams possible. So let's meet Lodge and Mephistopheles. Now, let's be clear, these guys are way more than just simple sidekicks. They're defined by this sharp, almost cynical intelligence. They are absolute masters of navigating tricky, deceptive situations, and they actively use that cleverness to shape the hero's path, often guiding them towards those morally questionable solutions that the hero couldn't, or maybe just wouldn't, find on their own. This chart just illustrates their roles perfectly. You have Mephistopheles, who uses deception and persuasion for Faust. Then you have Loge, who uses trickery and cunning for Wotan. So their methods are a little different, sure, but look at their function. One is a problem solver, the other is a moral scapegoat. You see, at the end of the day, they serve the exact same narrative purpose. Which brings us to the core mechanism of this whole relationship, what our source material actually calls the Faustian architecture. It's all about how these heroes manage to get exactly what they want without, getting their own hands dirty. This quote just nails it. Their number one job is to handle the dirty work. They're the ones who carry out the immoral, unethical, or, let's just say it, evil acts that are needed for the hero to succeed. The acts the hero himself is unwilling to take direct responsibility for. So let's just walk through this system. Step 1, the hero has a huge ambition. Step 2, to achieve it, an immoral act is needed. Step 3, the advisor steps in and does the deed. And finally, step 4, the hero reaps all the rewards, while his own hands stay, at least in his own mind, perfectly clean. It's a brilliant, if pretty troubling system for outsourcing your morality. So why does all this matter? What does this architecture of ambition really tell us? Well, this literary parallel isn't just some clever storytelling trick. It taps into a timeless and universal human struggle. You see, the real genius of this whole setup is psychological. It lets the protagonist, the hero, maintain his self-image. He gets to see himself as noble, as righteous, even as he's benefiting from all this deception and darkness. The advisor basically acts as a moral buffer, preserving the hero's idea of his own virtue. In the end, this mirror between these two incredible works is really about us. It reveals a deep and honestly uncomfortable truth about the human struggle with accountability. It makes us think about the real, hidden costs of our own ambitions and the lengths we might go to avoid facing them head on. Which really just leaves us with one final, kind of provocative question. This structure isn't just in myths and literature. It's a pattern you see in business, in politics, even in our own lives. So it's worth asking ourselves, when ambition calls, who do we ask to do our dirty work